Hello and welcome to another episode of Rappler Talk Entertainment. I'm entertainment reporter Juno Reyes, and joining us today is solo artist Sorn. Hi!
Hi!
Welcome to Rappler and welcome back to the Philippines.
Thank you.
If I'm not mistaken, it's not your first time in the Philippines.
It's definitely not my first time here. I've been here multiple times before.
I remember watching one of your vlogs about Filipino food.
Yes. That was really recent. Yeah, a couple months ago, I was here.
So are there any other Filipino foods that you're looking to try during your stay here?
Well, I just landed yesterday. So we had like basic like sisig, sinigang, like all those stuff. But yeah, I think I eat like local Filipino. And I love Filipino food.
Yeah.
So excited, I'm excited. Every dinner is kind of like pre-planned to like what me and my manager wants to eat. But yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Totally in love with Filipino food.
Have you tried eating street food yet?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I've been told I have to.
Yeah, you should.
Schedule is not really accommodating with that, but I've heard a lot about the street food. I think the most street food dish I've had so far is the egg.
Kwek kwek? The orange one?
No, the one with, yes, balut.
Oh, balot. Okay,
Yes, yeah. A couple of artist friends and content creator bought that over to my hotel a couple years ago, and we tried that for content. And yeah, that's as close as I would
Did
get
you
to.
like it?
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I got like the ones with like it was stuff inside. Like I saw a whole thing inside. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm comfortable with eating that, but I get it. I get the concept.
Yeah, no worries. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Okay, so to get things started, I actually wanted to backtrack to the very beginning of your music career. So I think many people already know that you started out as a member of a K-pop girl group, but now you're doing music solo. So what was it like transitioning from being in a group with other girls to actually doing music on your own now?
There's a lot of things that are different. I think the amount of pressure is much higher.
Yeah.
When I was with the group, you know, when you're with a team, you're always constantly sharing the pressure together. You do everything together, you're on stage together, you're releasing music together. So there's like less, I mean, there's more stress, there's more people. But the stress is distributed within the group. So I feel like there's always more support left, right, center. But now that I'm doing things by myself, all eyes are on me.
Yeah.
So then there's so much pressure that cycles around my planning and decision making and everything like that. And I think the biggest change for me would be when I get to go perform on festivals, concerts and stuff like that. Now that I don't have my members with me, the stage feels a little bit more empty at times, and it's much tougher because now I have to play like a 60-minute set by myself.
Yeah.
And not only I have to sing and dance, I gotta entertain the audience alone. There's no one to kind of, chit chat with me on stage anymore. So stamina-wise, that's also something I'm still working on until today, even though I've done a lot of shows. But, it's really different from when I was with the group. But I think the good thing about it is that because I've done group work activities before, that helped me a lot as a solo artist. So I'm really grateful and glad that I went through all that and had the opportunity to be a part of CLC back then. Yeah.
And I feel like it's also a very common sentiment for people who went from being in a group to being a soloist, that the pressure is all on them.
Yes. Yeah.
That's usually like when I ask an artist who used to be in a group and is now doing things solo, that's the one thing that they really mention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like all eyes are on you all the time. And then everything you put out is just like, it's just you. So then that's like a lot of eyes and a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And that is still something I'm trying to get used to. But luckily I enjoy being a solo artist too, even though I do miss being with the group. But being a soloist has its own charm to it too.
And speaking of, you've been releasing your solo music for around 3 years now, and I think it's pretty clear that you found your signature sound. But what was the experience like for you to establish your identity as a soloist and the sound that you want to be known for? Like, what did it take for you to get there?
Well, obviously it took me 3 years. And even though I was with the group for 7 years, being in CLC and the Sorn in CLC and the Sorn soloist Sorn now is totally two different people. It took me quite a while to find my own sound. I think my EP this time is exactly what I want to be.
Yeah.
But before that, if the audience goes to listen to all my other songs, you will see a lot of changes. I was doing some cute stuff, acoustic stuff, and then medium tempo music, and then kind of dancey-ish music here and there. I think that was me experimenting with music to see whether I like it or not, and whether my fans likes it or not. Because I think it's different when in K-pop we're more of like a manufactured artist. So we're not like born singer-songwriter, not like other artists in other entertainment field. We're told to be something. So then when I left CLC, it was really tough for me to really find who Sorn really is, because I was just so used to the company telling me that this is right and this is wrong.
Yes.
So that's why throughout this whole 3 year, there was shifts and changes in my own music. But I think I finally found my sound.
Yeah.
It's really obvious that I like dance music, and I like really fierce, kind of more fierce, independent girl boss, girl crush type of vibe. And I think that is what I will be releasing from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're happy that you found your sound.
Thank you.
Yes.
It took a while, but I think this is what I really like. Yeah, and I enjoy doing this, and I think my fans really do enjoy this too.
Yeah, and I feel like it was also such a great feat for you to be able to find your sound. Actually, 3 years is pretty short for you to know.
That's what I heard too.
Found your sound.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's like when you're going from the K-pop industry where everything is so manufactured, like you said. It's like when you're given this newfound freedom, it's like you don't know what to do. Like you're frozen.
Yeah, for sure. I was so lost. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. If you didn't go through what I went through, I mean, like, people just consume your music, so they're like, okay, why is she changing her concept here and there? But for me, it's like, I'm like struggling. Like, this is me struggling, trying to find what suits me, you know? But I think because I like music and I like to challenge myself, I'm kind of glad that I went through those changes. Because we did also go through that changes when we were with CLC, so I know what it's like to find your own sound. It will definitely take a while. So I used that experience and applied into my solo career, and that's why I'm able to release this EP because of all those stuff we went through. Yeah.
And speaking of your solo career, by blood you're Thai, but then your solo career really began to take off in Korea, and then you also said that you were based in Singapore. So it's like you're exposed to so many different cultures, and you're always moving around to pursue your music. So what's it been like navigating your solo career away from home?
Oh, definitely very, very tough.
Yeah.
I think releasing music these days for any artist is already tough in your own country.
Yeah.
But for me, being Thai, but being kind of raised in the K-pop industry, but now kind of being based in Singapore, but trying to reach the American market, it's really confusing.
Yeah.
But I think more than anything, I'm so blessed that I have fans from all around the world who will support me in whatever I do. And we have a really supportive fans from my CLC days who has been supporting me for the last 10 years. But it's definitely not easy when it comes to releasing music when there's so many songs out in the world. As I'm doing this interview with you, I'm pretty sure someone's dropping a new song somewhere in the world, you know? So then the competition is really high, and and people attention span is so short, especially kids Gen Z these days. They're just like scrolling on TikTok and like on Spotify and like on these music platform, they're feeding listeners with new music every single day. So it's really hard for artists like us to be heard around the world. So I think I'm just still and trialing what works and what doesn't work. And social media wise, I have to be more active on social media because that's like such a big platform for our music to be heard worldwide. So yeah, a lot of people still confuses me with content creator because I am so active on social media, and I personally love doing content, and that helps a lot with my music releases. So I'm still working on that too on the side.
Yeah. And I actually wanted to put a pin on that. So nowadays, it's like pretty common for musicians, for singers to actually take on content creation.
Yeah.
Some of them, maybe they enjoy it like you do, but others, it's a bit harder for them.
Yeah.
But how do you personally juggle the two? You're essentially like juggling two jobs.
Yeah.
Content creation and music. So how do you parang balance the two?
Well, I understand the market really well. I understand that as an artist, you have to do content. There's no other options but to do content. And then I think I got lucky during COVID when I was still with CLC in Korea. I started TikTok during COVID times, and then I was able to gain most of my followers that I have today through that platform, through short form content. And I personally saw the effect that had on my music. So then through my personal experience, I'm like, okay, this is something that I can't neglect, and I have to work on this. Because through the short form content, people are discovering me not only as a content creator, but then they will later on discover that, oh, this girl that does content, she also does music. Oh, and she also was in CLC before. That's interesting. And that's how I started gaining more fans all over the world without me having to physically be there in each market. But yeah, I do understand. I have a lot of really like artist, singer-songwriter friends who will complain to me, telling me that I don't know how you do this. I don't like doing content. I just want to make music and put it out. But even for them, they're struggling. So they were telling me how content creating is a really tough thing for a lot of artists. But I think it's so important for everybody. So I think I try my best to juggle it. And I'm lucky that I love making content. I started my YouTube channel when I was with the group, Produce Sorn. It's called Produce Sorn. And I started uploading vlogs and just daily life stuff. And a lot of people really seem to like it. So because of that personal experience, I just gained a lot of interest in making content, whether it's long form or short form. And I think I'm on the luckier side. Like, thank God I like doing content. So yeah, I know it's tough for a lot of people, but I enjoy doing it. So that's been okay for me so far.
Yeah, and I think it's also a really great way for your listeners to connect with you. They get to see a different side of you, like not just you on stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say. I like to tell them that I have two different Sorns. I have the stage Sorn, the more fierce, Sorn. And then when I'm not on stage, when I'm just living life, doing my daily stuff, I'm just a normal person, like doing normal things, just, living life. And I think a lot of fans really enjoy that contrast because they feel a deep connection with me, since they feel like, okay, they like me as an artist, but also Sorn does normal things that I do too. So I get a lot of DMs and letters and message from fans saying that they see me as a friend and they feel less lonely when they watch my content because they feel that I'm really like relatable. I think I like to be personal with my content, and I'm not afraid to show my personal side to my fans, especially on the social media world. Because I want them to feel like they're not alone in this world. And me being a solo artist, I move country, I'm pretty much alone all the time, and I'm in a new different environment with different people at all times. I know it can get really tough and lonely, and I just want my fans to feel that like, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you feel lonely, I'm also on the same boat, so there's nothing to be scared of.
That's really cool. Like, even if you're moving around so much, there's one thing that will always be there. It's your fans online, because you get to connect with them through social media.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I actually wanted to zero in on your EP now. So congratulations, first of all, on the release of HEARTSTORM.
Thank you.
So do you mind sharing the themes the EP covers and why you decided for it to go in that direction?
So my EP name is HEARTSTORM. HEARTSTORM has altogether 4 songs. My main track is called Nobody. I worked on these songs with a group of producers named Liar. Liar actually worked on my first ever solo debut single, Sharp Objects, 3 years ago. And that song, I think, I personally really like that song. A lot of my fans also love that song too, because it's more on like the fierce, like independent,
Yeah.
like I don't need no man, I can do this on my own type vibe. And it's a really highly requested type of vibe of music that my fans wanted to hear. And I really enjoyed Sharp Objects back then. So I decided to work with Liar again for this EP. And personally, when we were writing the song in LA, I was kind of going through some personal relationship problems. And I started to realize again how love for me, romance and love doesn't always have a happy ending. So I took that theme and started writing these 4 songs under this EP, saying that, you know, these 4 songs are all about love.
Yeah.
But it's just different way of love in different songs with different vibes, and how the main theme is that love, I know that love is good for me. I know that love is bad for me.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna love. Even though it's gonna end badly, I'm still gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
And that is basically the theme of this EP.
Yeah, and of course, as humans, we have so much love to give.
I know, yeah, exactly.
And I actually wanted to ask, with that, do you have any advice for people who are looking to be in their self-empowerment era?
I would say, as someone who's been doing this for a long time and venturing into my 3rd year of being a soloist, a lot of new generation artists likes to come up to me and ask me how I keep pushing myself to do music, because it's really tough these days. I like to tell them that just be yourself, follow your dreams, be consistent with what you do, practice, improve yourself, and one day when the right opportunity lands on you, you will see the result.
Yeah.
Just don't give up halfway through. For me too, I feel like if I have given up, if I have left CLC and I'm just like, okay, I don't want to do music anymore, it's too tough for me, I don't have the motivation, I wouldn't be sitting here right now doing this interview,
Yes,
obviously. So I think it goes the same with you can apply this to anything you do in life, whatever you're trying to do. Just don't give up and just be consistent, trust yourself, trust the process. Everything takes time. When the right timing comes, you will see the result.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm taking notes of that too.
Yeah.
And I think that's also the perfect segue into talking about how you've evolved as an artist. So you started releasing music 3 years ago, and you've released like several singles since then, and now you have an EP too. So from 2021 up to now, how do you think you've evolved as a solo artist?
Ooh, I think I've evolved a lot. I think I'm more in charge of what I put out. I'm more comfortable with being myself.
Yeah.
In front and off camera. And I've learned to enjoy it more. I think the biggest thing I've learned throughout this whole process is, before, when I first started, I always think about the finishing product. What people will think of it, how many streams it will get, how many people will see my music video, how many likes I'll get on social media. I was so fixated on that I forgot that just in life in general, I think the process is what makes it fun, not the finishing product. As long as you put out something that you're really proud of, I think that's all that matters. You have to learn how to enjoy the process before your music or before anything, like your product or anything goes out there. Because when I was younger, I was always just like, okay, I want my song to drop, and I want to see how many views I'll get, how many numbers I'll get, how many likes I'll get. That I totally forgot about this whole time of putting together the concept, finding outfits, thinking of finding inspirations and all those stuff. I totally neglect that. And then when I don't get the numbers and the engagement that I want, you just kind of, you're not gonna be in a good place.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going through this whole time. So then I've kind of shifted my mindset and tried my best to enjoy the process a little bit more. And I'm much happier now, honestly.
Yeah.
No matter what the outcome is, I'm just happy because I enjoy every single step into making anything I do in life these days.
That's really nice, because I feel like that alone takes so much discipline for you to be able to do, especially since, of course, we're so reliant on social media now.
Yeah.
So you really can't help but look at the numbers.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, and actually that's our last question. But before we say goodbye, would you like to invite our viewers to listen to your new EP?
Okay. So for everybody who's watching, I'm Sorn. First of all, my EP, HEARTSTORM, is now out in the world. My main track, Nobody, is also out. I have a dance performance video up on YouTube. You guys can stream my EP now on all types of streaming platform. And I'm so happy to be back here in the Philippines. Thank you guys.
So you guys heard it first from Sorn. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're so happy to have heard all about your journey, like from being in a K-pop group to being a solo artist. That's so cool.
Thank you,
And I think you left us with so many insights that we're gonna personally take note of. We really love all of the advice that you gave.
I'm so happy to help.
And of course, thank you as well to everyone for tuning into this episode. If you'd like to stay updated on the latest happenings in entertainment, or if you'd like to talk about Sorn's interview, be sure to head over to the Pop Culture Chat Room on the Rappler Communities app, which is available on web, iOS, and Android. Once again, I'm Juno Reyes. Till the next episode.